All right, guys, welcome back. And second model out of the behavioral theory is called McGregor theory X and the theory Y. As I told you, McGregor divided the management into two different types according to the two types of employees. The first type is employee X. So if you have a people of X type, you need to act like X manager. If you have the Y people, you have to act like a Y manager. Then we have to understand the features of each of them. And check it out. I have already helped you to summarize everything. These are the fundamental bullet in your exam. Memorize it. Memorize it, ladies and gentlemen. This is 5-star that you have to memorize everything. 5-star means you have to memorize. So let's check the features of employee X. First feature, dislike work. Yeah, this type of employee, they do not fancy the work. They are lazy. Yeah. So second one, naturally lazy. That means they always want to sleep. Right? Naturally lazy. And the third one, lack of ambition. That means they do not have a future goal. Enough will do are their fundamental value. Enough will do. They believe in this. They believe in enough will do. And lack of ambition, lack of goal, lack of initiatives, enough will do. Right? And the second to last one is must be coerced. That means you have to show them your authority. You have to show that you are the rule, and they need to listen to you. Otherwise, they will be fired. Right? That's the way that we need to show them. That means must be coerced, must be controlled, and must be directed. That means you need to tell them what to do next. All right. And punishment and the threat. Punishment and the threat. In terms of their salary or in terms of their time of relaxing. So we can use them as a weapon to punish them or threaten them. Right? They are necessary to redirect their behavior. So this model is rather true and practical. It has the feeling of discriminations, but is very useful, right? I mean, official discriminations. And after that, if you act like a manager, the manager will have to act according to the type of employee. If your employee is X, we need to act in terms of the X. So direct supervision is something we have to do to our employee. Direct supervision. You do not have time to think about your own future. Every attention will be attracted by your employee because of their inability to take good care of their work. And the second one, control all aspect. Here I have an example. When I was the manager of the auditor during my auditing time a couple of years ago, I have overlooked some very important areas of my employee because I forgot to ask for their ID number, their identification number. So in the airport, before we taking off the flight, in the airport, one employee actually who was trainee during that time, master degree holder, she told me she forgot to bring her ID with her, right? So I have to arrange another flight for her. This is something very, very typical. Right. So she was X. But I didn't want to act like an X, but no choice. And control all aspects of work and rely on coercive power. And the third one, punishment and threat are sometimes necessary. Punishment and the threats are necessary. And the micromanage rather than macromanage is needed. That means you have to control every details. And final one, autocratic. So autocratic style of management means you need to be acting like a boss. Some of them do not like you. Some of them, they have to be treated in that way. So the later one, we call them employee X. So ladies and gentlemen, the most difficult part is if you have both of them, X and Y, together. it's very difficult to manage them. So in the real life, we need to divide and conquer. We need to separate them and separately manage each one of them. All right? Okay. Let's check the feature of why. Work is natural and enjoys it. They love working. They have a good understanding of their work. They like to put their best effort on their work. They like to devote themselves the best attention on their work. So please respect their attention. And the second one is people are self-directed and self-controlled and self-taught. That means you don't have to pay much attention on their continuous progressing development. They have their own way on the CPD. So what you need to do is just to give them enough time and give them the enough trust with your necessary resources. There will be enough. They will settle down the works themselves. And third one, under the right condition, if the condition is good, if the condition is right, they tend to take more jobs responsibility. That means they enjoy being empowered. They enjoy being empowered. Empower means different way of trust. So the best way for empowering your employee is let your employee, such as Y, to take some kind of management work of yours. Then you will be free up to do some other things, some other important things, such as the customer development, market development, or some policy makings. So you will be free up because of the employee's support. This type of employee is Y. If they are X, you will be very busy. Right, and final one, people are creative and innovative, but very sensitive. That means they are creative in their jobs. They are very innovative in their work, but you have to acknowledge their contribution. Without that, they would perceive themselves as someone not important in front of you, then they quit the job. So guys, so you need to be sensitive to them. You have to be very sensitive to their contribution to the company. All right, guys. So as a manager Y, it's rather simple. Management must give staff freedom. That means let them to make the decision themselves. You don't have to intervene in their way of working normally. And encourage them to. Right, encourage them to. And second one, use initiative and rely on two-way communication. What is two-way communication? One way is monologue. That's not communication. Monologue means you give them the order, let them do everything you want. That's the autocratic way. That's the previous one, X. But now for Y, you will have to respect each other. We have to use the two-way communication to understand each other. We sometimes have to have a mutual adjustment between the two, right? So this is the second way, and we call them a very democratic way. All right, guys, this is Manager Y. So in simple English, the second model is called McGregor theory X and the theory Y. Shows us that there are two types of employees, X and Y, and you as a manager have to act differently accordingly.